One thing about the whole health and wellness aspect of life is there's always like, you can go into this rabbit hole of like, and I know people that have done this, where you get sucked down this rabbit hole where you become addicted to health and wellness, where people are like, I didn't have my supplements on like 5:55 a.m. Like I'm going to die. Like, don't be that guy. I mean, unless you want to be that guy, but I suggest not being that guy. I don't think that that's a healthy thing to do. And I think that people, everything in moderation, and you can take things, way too far, where if you're like, I didn't have my vitamin C, like need my vitamin A, I don't have my 20 minutes of sunlight, like right now, like, just cruise, relax. But it is really important, like stretching and physical health and exercise and eating right, drinking tons of water, like actually, don't be deficient in your vitamins. Like all of that stuff is really, really important. The other part of like mental health and wellness that a lot of people don't really think about, especially now with all these electronics and things that are just plugging away at our attention all the time, is just taking time for yourself. Recently I've started this thing where it's no phone for me after 5 p.m. and then no phone before 9 a.m. And it's been life-changing. I'm not doing it every day, but I've been doing it most days. And it's crazy when you realize how much of your day is taken away from, a device or a text coming through, an email notification, like all that stuff. And it is literally like draining you of your life force. So that's one thing that's super important to me. Another thing is like just, obviously being with the people you love and spending time with friends and family and animals, and like just being around those environments that do truly cause fulfillment. The other thing is just spending time alone. Don't be afraid to spend time alone. I love like alone time. I've realized is like something I cherish so much. And there's another thing where people have always kind of like tried to, or think that's weird when they see somebody eating at a restaurant alone or like going to the movies alone. Like that's awesome. I think that's great. And it shows that you have complete independence, and you shouldn't feel weird because your friends don't want to go see this movie with you. Like go see it yourself. Like big deal. Like being alone's awesome. And I think a lot of people think that they have something wrong with them because, like they're not with a friend 24/7, or they're not with a girl or a guy, like whatever it is 24/7. Like I always have to be like doing like, no, just chill. And I feel like when you're alone, for me personally, when I've been alone, I've learned more about myself than any other time. Like I would say like 80% of my life is alone. Like maybe not 80, but I've spent a shit ton of time alone, and then you figure out who you are pretty quick, especially in nature. When you're out like in the desert or in the mountains for days alone, you find out who you are. You find out what you're capable of. You find out how you are as a human being, and how you're going to react to situations, and how you're going to react to danger, and how you're going to react to stress on sincere levels. And then you also like that brings so much confidence into your life, especially when you come into society and you're around situations, whether it's like, business relationships or, like intimate relationships, dating, friends, whatever. It's like, you know who you are, and then who your people are, who your friends are, what kind of people you want to, associate with, not just like, oh, I'm insecure and I'll let anyone be my friend. And I'm not saying that that's how you are that's watching this, but I'm saying that if you spend time alone and you're okay with it, and you gain that confidence to like know who you are and know what you love to do, then you're good alone. And it's the whole circle versus half circle mentality that I talk about all the time. If somebody's a half circle, they're going to look for friends and other half circles that are not fully independent people to become part of their half circle so they can make a full circle. And then they're always going to be a little bit unindependent, a little bit dependent, a little bit insecure. But if you can figure out a way, and it takes years and years and years, or maybe it's easier for other people to become a full circle by yourself, then you find other full circles, and then you guys intertwine full circles in your life, and you have a great time, and it's beautiful. All I'm saying is that spending time alone and having that confidence and knowing that that's okay, especially at a young age. There's a lot of kids nowadays, and I think that have forgotten or never learned that ability. So, you're in a social setting, and let's say I'm sitting at a restaurant alone with no phone, just like eating my food, thinking about life, enjoying myself. And I see kids nowadays where like, that's not a thing. If you're waiting for food to go, you're on your phone. If you're not, you're like, you're never like, it's just like this socially awkward thing where people are just afraid to like be a normal person with no distractions. And it's kind of weird to me. It's weird to have those distractions where it's like, it just all depends on every situation. But all I'm saying is the most confidence boosting things that I've ever had in my life have come from being alone. Then when you step into situations with other people, you are fully aware of who you are and what you can bring to a situation, what you have, whether to offer, whether you have to, just to be in that situation, to be having fun. And you know that like those situations don't last. Like you're not going to be at this specific restaurant in this specific moment forever. And then you're not going to be like in this situation forever. And so what I'm saying is spending time alone will make you realize like how much you'll cherish that moment. Like this is the moment. And it's kind of gnarly. Like as I get older, I see the effects of social media and like electronics and stuff having effects on some of those situations. So that's why I love, like, I'm pretty adamant about like no phones, like be in the moment, like no distractions, like, and because it's the only thing that's real anymore.